I'd consider myself to be an artist, but at the same time trying to be a conservationist. More so maybe a conservationist. I'm trying to combine the two because art by itself is really powerful and conservation by itself is really powerful as well. But when you combine the two, I feel like it can be, they form up really nicely. People will look at the art side of it and they really appreciate the art, but then if they can learn something at the same time about conservation, I think that you can create something really powerful there. In our degree, we covered like sound, animation, film and photography and media arts as well. What I got out of it was I gained a range of skills in film and photography mainly. You could go out into the real world and you could capture images of how they were and you could present them in a raw and natural state. So I graduated in 2015 and at the end of that year I told myself I didn't want to work any longer in a kitchen, in a bar or anything. I was like, I'm only going to accept jobs that were part of like my career of like what I graduated with. And that's when I started like picking up a lot of freelance jobs, and now I work like full time as a freelance photographer. I wanted to get into the water to start shooting, but I wanted to do something different to what everyone else does. So I'm really passionate about the marine environment and marine photography. In 2016, I headed over to Thailand to do my dive master and dive instructor course because I wanted to gain the understanding and knowledge of the ocean under the water and how I can communicate that to other people by teaching them. So I went over there to do that, and then from that gained a passion to come back and take photos under the water and be able to communicate ideas about the environment. So what attracts me to marine photography is under the water it's a different world. The way the light penetrates the water, it's very different to being on land. So one of the projects that I've been working on for a while now is photographing plastic bags and trash in the water. And every time I entered the water, I'd like lower my head under the surface and I was like guaranteed to see a piece of plastic floating by. And when I would see the plastic, I'd look at it, and just the way the light hit it, it just looked really majestic. It'd look like another ocean creature, just like it would look like a jellyfish or some other like an octopus just floating there. And it was just like it had like a life form. It would breathe as the current and water would move around it. The plastic would float. It would look like it would be alive, but it's this man-made polycarbonate thing just sitting in the water that's not meant to be there, and that's actually quite harmful to the environment. I see myself going deeper into the water, staying in the water. I don't think I'm going to come out of the water anytime soon with my photography. I haven't abandoned land photography. I will do that just to make my money, my bread and butter, but I'll be staying in the water and continuing down a path of conservation. It's more about finding your passion. In the beginning when I started, I was trying to make money with photography and I wasn't doing things that I was really passionate about. Yeah, finding what you're passionate about, that's the main goal. Everyone talks about passion. And in the beginning, I was like, oh, passion, yeah, I don't know what I'm passionate about. But then I wasn't until I bought a water housing and started taking photos in the water where it sparked this thing inside me. I was like, this is what I want to do and this is what I'm going to take photos of.